I forgot to came earlier. Hello, Rebecca, Adam. Have a great one here. I hope you are having a nice morning or having a nice day in general. Um, Hello, also Benja. Thanks for tuning in as always, and thanks for looking if you're going to work. So, well, today, oh man, today is another. Wait, no, it was a roasted sweet potato emoji. I'm so angry. This is an insult to my person. What? Why did the stream elements just now notice that that I was streaming? Well, I guess so. As I like to say. But well, how how is it going, everybody? And do not be sorry, Vinya. I understand that you like to bully people, to bully, to be a big mean guy. What? But well, as I was trying to say before, hello. Today it is a great day, a potato day, so to speak. An early stream, as always. It is a lie, as trying to establish an early stream as a daily occurrence. In reality, I think this was already there. Oh yeah, that potato I like more. That isn't a baked potato. That is a regular potato. That is a good potato. So very well. We have for today, for the just chatting stream of today. I was kinda doing promo everywhere else, so I forgot to left in the chat to leave in the chat the topics that I had in mind in chat for this upcoming hour, so to speak. So yeah. Let's start with the most important thing. Stream duration 1 hour. I don't think I will be for more than an hour, so let's say 1 hour, just in case anything else happens. So yeah, the most important thing is that I will shortly become a just chatting streamer, so it seems that I cannot avoid it. It is ingrained in me to just chat. I really am trying my best to not only just chat, but there is nothing else for me to properly do and to properly engage in. Yesterday I tried to learn how to crop and how to properly set up OBS so I could possibly try to stream some, not a reaction. It won't be a reaction content. It will be more like video watching and video analyzing than just random reaction content. I hate reaction content, and I won't try to even become a reaction tuber. So that is I think I have to say. Aside from that, what else did I have in mind? The fact that to wait, let me write it down. Good old Well, meanwhile, I just will send this, and also, um, so yeah, as I as I said in another stream, I want to taking into account that I will have to focus mostly on being a just chatting potato. We will have to find a tone, so to speak, so I can really be not an entertaining person, but rather someone who you will click to watch, so to speak. Yeah, now I remember what I really wanted to talk about after that. Uh, okay, there it is. With that, I think we have at least for an hour. And in case anything else happens, there is always chat. Even if nobody is speaking right now on chat, there is always the possibility of finding a good question to ask a potato. But well, as I going back to what I was speaking about, the objectives of the potato streamer, I was thinking, firstly, I reviewed the bot from yesterday, the last bot from yesterday, so to speak, and it was really great to see that the problem really was that I tend to speak too fast, and when I lower my talking speed a little bit, it becomes more understandable what I'm trying to say, and uh, even if I have a even if I have a hard time trying to convey my ideas this way, I hope it becomes better for everybody else to simply hear me more clearly and to not have to be completely focused on what the potato is saying. So that is one of the best things I found out. Well, yeah, that that is the most important realization I had from the yesterday stream. And now, moving on today, I have been thinking about, well, moving from today onward, so to speak, I have been thinking, as I said before, I wanted to kind of do interviewing, so to speak. So, taking into account that I mostly am going to focus the content on just chatting, at least for now, until I am able to solve every other problem. I will try to provide with great interviews. I The biggest problem I have, so to speak, is that I will need to find a format or something like that so I can properly set up the interviews, find who really wants to do an interview with somebody like me, because I don't really know if everybody is completely willing, and more so will even try to establish a contact with me, so to speak. But that is part of my problem. The, the best thing is that I already established the next objective. So yeah, we will have some great interviews in the future. That is the most important thing, so to speak. Aside from that, I have been thinking to myself as I talked yesterday. Did I talk about it or did I think about it? I don't completely remember. I think I talked about it, but just in case, I will repeat myself. Just in case, I have been thinking that even if it doesn't seem that natural, I want to really have that. Ah, yeah, I talk about it. That free thinking kind of stream because it is something that personally I cannot avoid, and it will almost crash with who I am as a person and the kind of objectives I have in mind to negate, yeah, my dearest puts the possibility of hearing myself think out loud, so to speak. So yeah, that is also a change. I not a change, something that I will do, taking into account I I will become mostly just chatting streamer. Yeah, don't expect less of it, so to speak. We will have a lot of rambling and random thoughts and pondering in general. But well, that was one side, and also I considering what I wanted to do, that was stream um, video analyzing content, so to speak. I, as I said before, I have a previous list of videos that I want to watch, and I will do so on stream. The only real problem I have with that idea that I have been really wondering about is how much time will it take me to completely uh, finish a 1 hour video, because the idea that I have behind doing, as I said before, video analyzing content and not just video reaction, is that I want to spend, so to speak, time watching the video, analyzing the arguments, kind of, yeah, basically, as I said before, really thinking out loud about the videos that I'm watching, because it is bad for me, or it isn't bad for me. I do not like the idea of, as I said before, simply sitting in front of the screen and watching the video and sometimes doing something like, wow, oh yeah, this person is right. Oh no, this might be a good argument. No. I even more, if I want to really comprehend what I'm watching, I need to actively have a role of analyzing what I just heard, having the possibility of trying to connect the new concepts that might be in the videos I watch to already existing concepts in my mind, and also the always good work of kind of sharing an idea or sharing a knowledge that one wants to properly integrate into his mind with another person, so to speak, so I can even more adequately talk about that and have that idea in mind, so to speak. So yeah, that is the other part I wanted to talk about. I I guess we can try to have one of those streams later today. I Yeah, I don't know if I will have, no, I know I will have freedom on my afternoon. I don't know when exactly, but I will try to be here at around, right now it is, what is it? Um, 10:50. How the fuck do I say the time on English? 10 to 11, I think it is. It is 10 to 11. I think. So yeah, I will try to be here at around 4 p.m. I I don't think I will be at home at 3 p.m. So yeah, it seems more appropriately to grant to take for granted that I will be here at around 4 p.m. So yeah, that will be when we will have some random trying about pondering content live. Now, what was the other thing? I will also have to review, to check, and to analyze if I have the possibility. No, when I will have the possibility of doing interviews and all of that, um, so that I can clearly post about it. Yeah, I think I have nothing else to say about that specifically. Now, moving on to what I wanted to really talk, that was the meta. I really have been thinking about the fact that I am kind of too focused on sharing every kind of meta part of the streaming world with whoever decided to watch me, and I am not having problems by itself, but I am really asking myself if it really becomes something that one really just tries to find a streamer, a Vtuber, to not to watch but to actively consume, because if I wanted to become white noise or background white noise, so to speak, I really would like to do so via discussing the whole objectives I am having in mind. So I I haven't really having a not a rough time, but yeah, pondering in general about if when trying to remember how I was when I was only a viewer, what was my mentality when people really got deeply involved in their meta talks, so to speak, and career uh, talks, so I can at least try to, as I said before, taking into account what my older me liked, provide for the image of my older me at least. So I am trying to, yeah, to go back to that mentality, trying to find a way to properly convey the ideas in a ways that one, yeah, that someone completely unrelated to me would want to hear about them. Because if I am rambling and uh, a third party, so to speak, tries to come here and only finds a guy who has no idea what he's doing, finds also that the chat is kind of low activity, so he might not even want to participate. And on the other hand, the fact that this person who this guy saw, so to speak, completely deviates from any kind of gameplay streaming, more simple, yeah, as I said before, streaming, it might be a turn off, so to speak. But on the other hand, I also was thinking it might not be that bad. At the end of the day, I think it is at this point already something that I have already established, but it is amazing how much people is streaming and is a viewer and becomes uh, a listener, so to speak. So it might be, from that point of view, interesting to hear another person journey and hear what hardships, what good things, what experiences in general that, as I said before, third party is having. Because at the end of the day, it also helps with oneself possible adventure, so to speak, or journey. So I am I am not guessing. I already know. Yesterday, while I was in bed, I started to check all of that, and only on Twitter there are right now around 10,000 VTuber accounts, and not VTuber dedicated, so to speak, like clip makers and editors and what is it? Artists who make art. No, 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 no. VTubers. VTubers as in someone who goes in, hits the stream button and puts some kind of to the what is it? To the model, PNG model, or even 3D model. So there might be an audience for that, I think. As I said before, taking into account that there are almost 10,000 people doing that, there might be a tiny audience, so to speak. But well, also, I yeah, no, I don't think I have anything else to say about that. I also have been thinking a lot about the possibilities of not having directly random collabs and all of that, but mostly trying to go and network myself around no, the word isn't bigger groups, is more active groups, so to speak, because I have been talking about this already. I am already in two sites, and both sites find themselves being kind of low activity. So it it requires from me a kind of certain input that I need to work on. So um, we're good about that. I think. I hope. I hope. Um, Also, at least now water moment. It is also kind of funny to see that it it isn't funny in reality. It is it is kind of sad. I would even say it becomes funny because one tries not to think too hard about it, but in general, uh, at least from my perspective, I won't really generalize, but from my perspective, let's say I don't like to socialize. There is a point, or there is a certain barrier where it becomes too uncomfortable, even for me, I would say, and it is kind of hard to overcome that. But I don't know if it really is a barrier or more like a. I find it more to be like a mental state or a kind of. What is it? A kind of bias that, for example, the idea that everybody somehow will find critiques to have about one, and the people somehow will be aggressive with oneself when in reality, for example, um, this is a real example. I did a singing stream. I checked the mode, and in my mind, everybody was going to react negatively because I did some singing and there was almost no background noise. I I checked again and there was if you had your speakers, your headphones with max volume, there was, but it wasn't that possible to hear, so to speak. So I was nervous about that fact, and I was really in my mind created the idea that oh no, everybody will say this was the worst, and everybody will negatively react, and all of that. When in reality, the only person who worked himself up was me. Nobody else said that it was bad. Nobody else reacted in a negative manner. I didn't even got negative feedback, so to speak. The only thing I saw was it was a great stream. It was funny seeing you struggle. I liked the part. I like that you decided to sing the in live comments also of people enjoying the singing by itself. So I think the problem might be that in in general I tend to overwork myself or it isn't logical. I won't say logically analyze. Uh, Negatively analyze all things. That is more appropriate. Negatively analyze things because it is almost as if I were always thinking about how people will, yeah, negatively react to everything I do. When in reality, almost nobody is as aggressive with myself as I am, so to speak. But it also is an important factor to always carry with oneself, so to speak. Because at the end of the day, if I were to literally take only the outside input and negate my own ideas, my own objectives, my in general all of that, as I said, negative talk, I probably would have already done a second singing streaming, and I probably would have never noticed that the volume was so loud, low. The volume was so low, and that basically nothing. I do not want to keep going over and over the same topic, so that it is important to have in mind that sometimes, even if it seems too aggressive, one's self opinion of a certain topic, it might be necessary to take that into account as I would say that in general we from an outsider perspective or when interacting with others do not want to be aggressive, so it is kind of normal or expected that we wouldn't receive that bad of a feedback and that negative of a feedback, so to speak. So if we do not become or unshut, if we do not become our own judges and we do not take, as I said, those kind of matters ourselves and tackle the problems that we are having, or at least find what are the problems that we are having, it might be too hard to rely on the outside, yeah, the third parties views, so to speak. because at the end of the day, nobody really wants to be aggressive with a completely unknown person, and even more in today's, I really think in today's internet, where we have already seen the consequences of without even thinking what we're saying, how we're saying things, or the kind of manner that we are interacting with a completely stranger uh, after having, yeah, seen by ourselves or by what other deeds, how people tend to react to that kind of feedback, we kind of tone down, so to speak. So it is necessary for one to really work on those things in general. I wouldn't say it only is what is it? It only is applicable to streaming. It can also perfectly happen if you for example are an artist, if you even in video games it can perfectly happen. The only problem or the only difference might be that sometimes in video games people might be bolder because they want to reach a common goal, so to speak. They want, for example, to win a game. They want to have a what is it? Yeah, a good experience or always a winning experience. So on certain kind of games, it might be different, but in the rest of the internet, it is kind of hard to find people who will really judge you. Um, Also, I think it's kind of obvious, but if you do not criticize yourself when other people comes criticize you and you feel hurt, it is all obviously part of their fault because you can always say things in a nice way or in a nicer way, but if every little critic triggers you, that that is when you might have to check and think if it really is the problem that everybody doesn't know how to explain themselves or other thing. Let's leave it at that. Other thing. But yeah, I, as I said before, it applies on every field, even on work itself. It is something that we find overall in life, basically. Um, Nobody knows how much you lack as yourself, and nobody will be completely able to know every single bad thing that you do as the person who does it, so to speak. So if you aren't ready to get criticized, you should at least try to criticize yourself and find by yourself your flaws. Because at the end of the day, if you really, as well as I said before, if you can't handle, no, if you do not criticize yourself, you won't be able to handle exterior critics. Why? Even if I said that some people tend to not be so stringent with their way, their ways, the kind of things they say, and how they approach you, there is also a side where you, or yeah, there are also some people that are the complete opposite, that come and strike you as hard as they can. They see if they can somehow make you react, so to speak. So if you are not doing your job properly, in that sense, you will be having a bad time, so to speak. Um, what will be a good example of that? I don't know. Yeah, for example, if I never paid attention to the fact that my microphone is low quality, and I never accepted that as a fact because it isn't a good microphone. There might be worse microphones, but this one isn't good either, and I need to know that. And now, if I didn't know that, and if I acted like it was something completely different or something impossible, so to speak, when somebody came say to me, "Why is your microphone shit quality?" Because that person didn't even try to apply a filter to what he or she is going to say. I might get kind of destroyed, so to speak. Why? Because I'm not doing my work, so as I was saying before, so to speak. Um, so, well, uh, I guess the idea behind all of this is criticize yourself. I don't know. Now I need water. That is all I know. Well, it was great. But well, do you have anybody who wants to ask anything, or do I keep rambling about a completely different topic now? What do I do? Rambling, okay. Any kind of idea, or just rambling for the sake of it? Uh, but okay. I have one. And I think it kind of connects with what I was saying. Um, I have been basically let me start from zero. I have been listening a lot about the Stoic way and the Stoic perspective, not from the what is it actual point of view, so to speak, but rather hearing about it from people who really try to be stoic in the older sense, and it kind of even apply to what I was talking about before about you, yeah, the person itself needing to know their own flaws, because at the end of the day, when people will come to you inevitably later on, and even without wanting to end up attacking you, uh, you will need to be already able to face those kind of behaviors, those kind of critiques, those kind of harsh words uh, in a proper manner. And if you aren't ready, life will be a lot harder, so to speak, because you will only be reacting. You won't be acting. You will be facing everything. I don't. I think we can say at face value, because you will basically have to deal everything with. You will have to deal with everything that comes up in the moment, and we won't have already the possibilities of analyzing, of thinking, and of being able to correctly assert a possible solution for the problems um, in general, because you didn't. Yeah, as I said before, it basically means that you didn't do your homework, so to speak. You need to always have a repertoire of things that you know, of flaws that you know you have, of um, minuscule parts of yourself that you might need to improve, and it is impossible for anybody to not be affected by anything they uh, that they hear about themselves being said. So, if you do not want to be swayed, or be even more affected, you really need to put in work, so to speak, and to be the first one who knows himself, who knows itself in the proper manner. Because basically, you cannot avoid those kind of things in life. As I was saying, uh, it might come sooner or later, but it will come. It no, I said come. It will come. It will. Yes, it was so serious, and it will come. Oh yeah. No, oh, that was a really brain fart moment. But yeah, that is one example. If I didn't accept that something like that might happen, completely ignoring the fact that I ended up saying it will come, might have been my own demise when somebody came and said on the chat, "Oh my god, what did you say? You said cum. No, no, you're going crazy. You cannot be so serious. You cannot really have a talk and commit such a flaw on your speech." And all of that. For example, you always need to be ready. You going back to the seriousness that we had before, you need to be ready. But yeah, oh, hello, Jul. How's it going? Have a great morning. I hope you will have a great day. That is all I can hope. I hope you will have a great day. Or I don't think it is ending for you. So yeah, I hope you have a great day. But well, now something that also is kind of related. Um, well, I, I already know that is what is that clip about the Amazon that was such a failure. Ah man, but well, thank you, India, for the clip. Yeah. So far, it has been a very great morning. Uh, I am I am finding the space to stream. I am, as I told before, I am trying to organize my whole schedule to be able to dispose of much content as I can. So we have a great backlog to deal with later on, so to speak. Um, I hope whatever you do in your way is also a great thing. But going back to what I wanted to add to this point is also to not only you need to know your flutes. What did I say? Not only that you need to know your flaws, you also need to know what might become and what might possibly be in the eyes of a third party, so to speak, a flaw. Because even if you think you are completely fine, there might be someone who really wants to not attack you. Maybe sometimes it might even come from the real desire of help. They might criticize you. The real word is someone who really wants to criticize you, regardless of the intention behind it. The, the only real fact is that there might be always someone who wants to criticize you, so you need to be ready about everything. As I was saying, even those things that you might not consider bad yourself, but accept the fact that somebody will come and say, "Oh yeah," for example, right now with me, I am completely comfortable with how I am streaming, but there might come someone and say, "Oh no, this is the most low tier streaming I have seen in a while. Why don't you directly stop streaming? This is the worst." Even if somebody tries to act like that, one one needs to be ready for that kind of critique, and one needs to have ways to react to that. You cannot uh, face that, yeah, that challenge, so to speak, out of nowhere. You need to be ready, as you need to be ready with everything else in life. For example, it, it is the best and worst kind of example, but yeah, for example, you need to accept that there might be a tiny micro infinitesimal minimal possibility of you getting cancer. You need to accept that, and you need to think how you will react, what you will do, what you how is it going to affect your life. You never know if you are completely safe from anything. So you you need to have already in mind that possibility. How stoic. Uh, I don't know. I guess you what I'm referring is that you really need to be ready in general. You cannot, as I'm trying to speak, you cannot avoid the possibilities. You even if it, and I mean it in the bad way. You cannot, for example, I cannot start to visualize myself in the, oh yeah, I will become the greatest streamer there will ever be. A literal potato will become the biggest person. No, you need to face the hardships first. And when you start facing the hardships, the harsh possible futures, um, out of that, you need to accept that you need to work on a lot of things. And now we finally have a question. How do you feel about French fries? I really love them. I really like French fries. The only problem is that I hate eating too much, so I avoid eating too much French fries. Um, Talking from a potato perspective, it is unavoidable. Some potatoes have to die. There are some sacrifices that need to be made. Uh, right now, I don't, but I was when I was younger. I think I had over. The most proper way to say it is I was 50 kilos over my healthy weight. After yeah, taking it as I was talking before, when I try to understand the possible problems that everything might be and all of that, I understand that it really is unhealthy to be fat in general. So I have been working on it. I think for at least 2 years, 3 years now. I don't completely remember. So right now I don't have the overeating problem, so to speak. It doesn't really strikes me as a problem because I was able to achieve a healthy body, and by doing so I can overeat, so to speak, without worrying about consequences. But when in the past in general, I really, it was a real problem. Right now it is better, so to speak. And right now I understand the fear that I have to need about being overweight. So even if I overeat, I do it consciously, not like before, because I don't know. It is something that I can go on and on, but basically I think food kind of becomes not a drug by itself, but almost kind of a what is it? Kind of a pleasure, so to speak. Kind of what is it? What is the term? Kind of yeah, kind of unhealthy addiction, like everything else. So that's why now, having conscious about that fact, I can finally act upon it on a better way. But yeah, basically that. I don't know if I finished the other point that I was trying to talk about, but basically, yeah, you need to be ready for everything. There is, you cannot. The okay, yeah, I didn't. I wasn't checking the time. I was right. I had to go. Yeah. So let me check. Let me check. Let me check. There is someone who I can read. Is there some channel streaming right now that I can read? I don't see nobody. I need to find someone on the main Twitch page, I guess. If somebody has a suggestion, so to speak, I completely fine with checking that possibility. Huh? Literally, no problem. Let me check, let me check, let me check. Is this... We're four people, but I can always try to write someone who has 1.6k, just in case. We will do that. We will completely do that without a single regard of the possibilities that it means writing someone so big. We will do that. But well, it was such a great stream today. So before well, while I set up the raid, thanks everybody for tuning in. Thanks to those who came and later on decided to leave. Uh, what is the problem? What? This channel is intended for mature audiences. Okay? What do I do about it? What do you mean? What does it mean? Oh no! I need to find another person or what? Oh no! I wanted to mindlessly raid. Let's see. This one. Okay. What? Okay. There it is. Okay, now, goodbye everybody. Have a nice one. I don't know what I did, but I was able to read.